Your authenticity and your truth are not available to be usurped. They're not available to be messed with. And I get this sense inside you that you're like, okay, now I know what that is like. Next time I'm going to be able to track that a lot better. We've all come here with a divine purpose, traveling on a stream of cosmic dust from the stars into our mother's wombs, born into this precious life. It is no accident that you are here, my love, on earth, in this moment, in this body. You are here longing to find your place, to align with your purpose, to embody your passions and to live into the dreams of your heart. Yet so often we get caught, suspended in the tangle of life, not able to move forward, not able to find solace and comfort in a world that has forgotten the truth of our existence. As we begin to remember, as we peel back the layers, as we come together to uncover our unique gifts and reconnect with our authentic selves, we are able to see another way of being, a new possibility, a different life waiting to be lived. I have experienced on this complicated and wild journey of life that when we connect with the story of our soul, it will show us the magic of this life that we have been missing. It will open a window into the very heart of who we truly are, of who we came here to be, and gives us answers to our ever-asking why. Hello, beautiful souls. Always so good to be here with you. And I hope you have been enjoying the Magical Moments episodes. They've been so fun to create for you, and to be in this new space of video instead of just audio has been fun and creative. And I love just supporting you on this journey with information that can help you grow and help you really dive into the spiritual path. So if you have any questions that you would like answered or any topics you would like me to discuss, you can email Haley@sarahnoble.com and give those to her, and we will be happy to record an episode based on your question. Also, one more announcement before we dive in. I have been doing a lot of Akashic Soul records, and these are Akashic readings that are the story of your soul. These aren't intuitive readings like the ones we do here on the podcast. These are once in a lifetime type of readings because the story of your soul doesn't change. It evolves with you through every lifetime. And I go into the Akashic Library and I pull your soul book and I research a number of areas mostly related to your life purpose, because I really do feel that these are the golden nuggets of this report that can move you forward the most and give you the most validation that you are on the right path. So I love doing these records. I love the responses that people are getting from them, and just really the freedom to be authentic and to be truthful and be on your path is the most thing that I see with these records and the readings. And so all that to say, I have also created a program that goes with these readings. I lead some workshops in town here. And what we do is each participant has their own record, and then we dive into all the elements of the record together. And it really helps give a deeper understanding of your record and how it relates to your journey and where you can make tweaks in your life to really move into something deeper. And so I felt really inspired to put this workshop content into a program. And we've launched that program, and it's called Eternal, Understanding the Story of Your Soul. And what we're doing is when you purchase an Akashic record, or if you've already purchased an Akashic record in the past, we're offering 50% off that program so that you can move through it while you are reading your Akashic record, and it will give you all this deeper insight into the different aspects of the record and how you can use your individual unique record to move forward in your life. So there's a link in the show notes for 50% off that. There's also a link in the show notes if you would love to get an Akashic record reading. Like I say, I love doing them, love supporting people in this way. So now diving into our episode today, Haley is here with us and she has recently gone through a breakup and she's looking for guidance on how to navigate this space, right? About coming back to herself, finding connection within herself again that was beginning to get lost in this relationship. And we go on this beautiful journey and really seeing how this place that she's in, this relationship that has just ended, have really strengthened her intuition. And it was a little bit surprising to her because she came on the call feeling disconnected. And yet, what we explore and see is that really this was a gift and it was her soul strengthening itself, her intuition strengthening itself, and allowing her to be more devoted to her spiritual path. And I love these readings, right? When something gets reframed and we're able to see a deeper truth that is threaded through the circumstances of our lives. And Haley comes into the call feeling vulnerable and sad and disconnected, and she walks away really positive and optimistic and really recognizing how much growth and her own willingness to show up for herself. And she also walks away with some tools that can help with rebuilding her energetic field after relationship. These can be super helpful for you as well. Even if you're in a relationship, you've recently broken up, or it's been a while, gathering back your parts and giving people back their own parts is a very valuable tool. And it brings a lot of freedom and can really help with the healing process. So we talk about those tools as well in this episode. So lots of good stuff for you. Thanks so much for being here. So much love to you and enjoy. Hi, Haley. Welcome to the podcast. How can I help you today?
Hi, Sarah. Thanks for having me on today. I'm coming with feeling very vulnerable today. I was in a relationship with somebody, and our relationship came to an end just a few days ago. And I felt like during our relationship, I progressively became more disconnected from myself. And so I'm looking for guidance on how to reconnect with myself after a relationship. And also, I'm wondering if my guides have anything to say on what lessons I was supposed to learn from this relationship.
Thank you. So you're taking me directly to like your power center down your second chakra and your root chakra, which are our connection to the planet, our connection to our divine creative energy and like the power, right, that we cultivate in order to move through our life with purpose and intention and with an ability to create. And so what I see that relationship was doing, it was undermining all the work that you have been doing. It was very subtle. It wasn't something that you would have picked up on because you were, in the upper part of you, which is more about people's potential and what they show us initially on the surface and kind of who they wish they could be rather than necessarily maybe what's the truth of who they are. And so in the upper body, it might have felt like, oh, this is fun and I'm having a nice time and it feels really good to be loved on and have someone to spend time with. And yet underneath the surface, like in the lower self, you've done a lot of work to cultivate your authenticity. Like I can feel that in you. Like, who are you, right? And how you're walking through this life and what are you here to share? And you might not entirely have the whole big picture of what it looks like, but I can see that you're on a path and you're very methodically and strategically and purposefully walking this path. And then this person kind of came in and kind of hit you a little bit below the belt. This is the way I see it. And yeah, it's not intentional. It's not like mean or anything like that. It's more just somebody who doesn't really know who they are. And like I see him as kind of like he really wishes he could be this person that he presents to the earth, but he's got a lot of what looks like wounding and sort of things going on underneath that he thinks he's looking at, but he's not really looking at them in the way that is necessary. And so that gets tangled with you.
Mm. Hmm.
So, how does that land for you? Like, what do you know about what I just shared?
Yeah, it's feeling pretty exact. I do feel like, on the surface level, I had those rosy glasses on and I was like, oh, everything's so great and it feels so nice to feel loved. But there is that deeper wounding that was kind of projected onto me. And I feel like I really absorbed and took his wounding on a personal level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really wise of you to be able to articulate that and to understand that and know that that's what happened. So, where do you want to take this from here as far as that goes?
I want to take it in terms of like where to go from here now. Like what lessons was I supposed to take from it? And moving on forward in myself and in my own power.
Mhm. So, the first two things that pop up are one are now you know what it feels like when somebody is like at your power, right? Like they're
Mm-hmm.
undermining what you know to be true about yourself and the way that you want to walk through the world.
Right.
And then the second thing is your authenticity and your truth are not available to be usurped. They're not available to be messed with. And I get this sense inside you that you're like, okay, now I know what that is like. Next time I'm going to be able to track that a lot better.
Yeah.
This part of you that's so devoted to your spiritual path and to your personal development, like I feel like it got stronger.
Mm. That's so funny because I feel like it got weaker, but maybe it's just like I was working out that muscle and it's still a little sore, but it hasn't completely rebuilt back to being the strongest muscle that it could be. Does that make sense?
Hmm. Yeah, it was like you had to take a detour away from it to like strengthen it in a way where you're like, okay, yeah, no, this is non-negotiable,
Mm.
right? Like any relationship that's going to come into your life, this is the parameter, this is the boundary, this is the expectation and the requirement for the
Yeah.
people that you're letting in your life. And if they don't check these boxes, then I'm not going to go further. And I see that like in you, like a strengthening.
Yeah. And what's coming up for me is my intuition was kind of screaming at me this whole time too. And I was like, no, that's not right. And so I think it's also a lesson on my intuition knows best. And the whole time she was like, girl, what are you doing? And I just continued to ignore it and push it away because I was so into the temporary sensations, the attention, the enjoyment of having company. And I think I didn't want to be alone. And so I decided to ignore my intuition and her saying, like, there's something better if you let this go. Like, I'll have something better for you in the future. But I was not ready to give that up and not ready to listen.
Yeah. And I get that, right? Like we are beings that are intended to be together and love each other and comfort each other and nurture each other. And so there's that sense inside us of wanting to have that connection with somebody. And we can inadvertently drown out the voice, right, inside us that knows better because we're just really craving those things. So it's like devotion is the word. And you, right, being so devoted to this part of yourself. And I see you where you're like cultivating this part of yourself more deeply than a lot of people will, right? So many people just turn away or quit when it gets hard or get frustrated because, oh, here's another layer. And yet there's a resilience in you, there's a purpose in you that won't let you do that. It keeps bringing you to the fire, and you're like, one more step, one more step.
Hmm.
And so that path can at times be lonely, because you are the most important person in your life on this adventure. And it can take a moment to settle into that. That being said, what I see for you is like not like cutting yourself off and not having relationships. It's almost like superficial is the word that I'm hearing, but it's not that. Like it's deeper than that. It's not saying to not be authentic, but I like see this hook and the hook is underneath. And it's like you can get into relationships, but don't let them hook you. Really take your time, have the enjoyment, have the connection, have the fun, but like get to know this part of you that thinks that there has to be this hook underneath in order for that relationship to count. It's like there's something there deeper inside you that needs your attention that you're thinking a relationship is going to give you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not true, right? You are the only one who can give yourself this really deep, like nugget of gold, is how I see it underneath. And you, so long as you think that a person in a relationship is going to give you that, you're going to get this repeated pattern. So if you can look at that and clean that up for yourself, so then your relationships kind of form around it instead of into it, you're still going to be able to have that connection with people and the deepness and love and fun and all the things. But it's like this deep center that is you, that's unavailable for others.
Mm, yeah. And I do feel like I give that away too easily, that deep center part of me, or I feel like I need to give that to somebody in order to feel like a strong connection with them. But I don't want to, I want to keep this core part of me to myself and love on myself. And I think that kind of coming out of this relationship, I'm really being called to just spend some time with myself, spend some time loving myself, spend some time introspective, and really just like taking a break from dating and focus on like renourishing myself.
Mm-hmm. Your guides and my guides are saying that working on it's about your dad.
Mm. Mm.
So there's something under there for you to go and explore about your relationship with your dad and how you think men should show up for you in your life versus how the divine masculine embodied in a man should show up in your life. Right. So there's like, we're going back to where we talked about it usurping your power. That's something that gets put into place when we're young as we're growing. And the way that we are loved by our parents. And so, yes, your mother is there, but the pull of this goes to your dad.
Yeah, I see that. I feel that.
Mm-hmm. So that can be an important part as you're, let's say, like regrouping, right? Like coming back, like what's important to you? What are you on the path towards? And like bringing that into this place and working through that sets you up. Like I see it as like when I look at your path going forward, it's like, oh, all these flowers are growing on the path beside you when you choose to clean this up.
Right. And so what does cleaning it up look like? And what does, yeah, I'm like, this sounds easy, but what does cleaning it up look like? And what does cleaning it up look like in terms of my dad wounds?
Hmm. Okay, let's look in there. So when I track you there, right, there's like energy that's going out to your dad,
Hmm.
almost like your daddy's little girl, and daddy's going to protect you. But dad doesn't necessarily have it all together himself
Right.
in the relationship department,
Hmm. Totally.
right? So here's this like smear coming into you of your dad protecting his little girl, who's not a little girl anymore. And the way that he's trying to protect you is kind of messed up because he doesn't really know what he's actually doing.
Mm-hmm. Just
Does that
making
make
up the
sense?
rules as he goes. Yeah.
Yeah. So disconnecting yourself from that, right? Like really grounding into like you're a grown woman, a soul on a journey. And yes, your dad loves you and, really cares for you and cherishes you. And yet you don't need that from your dad. So it's like giving him that back. Thank you, dad. I love you. I appreciate you. But I don't actually need that. I'm on my own journey now. And that was great when I was like 7, not great now. And just lovingly like disconnecting yourself from that so that your body has the ability to kind of recalibrate to what it means to be a woman in a body, self sustained and powerful without needing her dad to protect her.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Thank you.
Hmm. How else can I support you today?
Mm. I'm feeling really satisfied with you really tapped into some things that I needed to hear. And I'm not really feeling any other questions come up, and but do you have anything, are my guides wanting to say anything else to me? Is there anything else that's kind of lingering that feels like it needs to come up?
Yeah, let's look at that. They're showing me your heart. And so pulling some stuff out of your heart that got put in there, right, by this guy. Again, not on purpose, not malintention, just the nature of energy and what happens when we're close and intimate with people. So, a couple things like pulling out what was put in there and then letting your light come back. Like he doesn't get to take your light and go now and like build the rest of his life with your light. It's like, no, no. The Haley gets that back. I'm actually going to pull some back for you, okay?
Hmm.
So let's just get that for you. And we're going to pull a little out of it, like pull that out and give that back to him as well. And then what happens is like a displacement, right? So he puts something in, your light pops out. Then he's like, oh, yum, yum, yum. Okay, bye, Haley. So we're just going to reset that back where nope, he gets what he's got. And then you get yours back. And that's going to help with healing your heart.
Thank you.
Mhm. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else. You could do that a few more times on your own, like give your body a rest today, but then do it again tomorrow. Have that kind of intention.
Thank you. That's a really nice
Mhm.
practice to have.
They're just saying, just go really easy on yourself and be really gentle. Don't fall into the habit of maybe beating yourself up for making bad choices and blah, blah, blah. You know how that one goes.
Yeah, totally.
I should have left sooner. What was I thinking?
All right. Yeah.
Just anytime that shows up, be like, no, thank you. And just kind of push it away. Be like, there's no place for that here, right? It's like, there's no bad choice. There's just the choice you make and what you do with it. And now it's over. And you're like, okay, we learned so much. Like it's obvious from this call, like you learned so much. You became stronger. Now you have this availability of diving deeper into the wounding with your dad. And like there's so much goodness that came from this. Focus on that and really see like those thoughts that want to come in about what you did wrong. If you could see that like as collective energy, right? That's not really you. That's not your truth. This is just the collective energy that gets formed because everybody breaks up. Everybody has horrible thoughts about their breakups. And then here it sits, just waiting for when you break up to come
To
in and
come,
get you.
yeah. Okay. I like the way that you put that.
Yeah. So just no, thank you. And you can push it away and be like, I'm here on my path with my flowers growing. I'm getting my heart pieces back and fixing, some stuff with my dad. And it's great. Thank you.
Yeah. Beautiful. I love that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'd love to hear what you're taking away from our call today.
I'm feeling like I have a big giant smile on my face, and I just feel a lot of optimism. I feel like, breakups are kind of a sad time, and I'm allowed to grieve, but I don't need to like wallow in the sorrow. I I'm feeling really optimistic and almost excited to move forward and reconnect with myself. And I'm feeling a little nervous to dig into the dad wounds because they're so deep and tangly and confusing. But as for myself, I feel really proud and optimistic. And I'm getting this like vision of this door closing and then it's being like sealed shut with duct tape, but then all these other doors opening around it. And so, yeah, I'm feeling good.
Mhm. Thank you. I love that image with the doors.
Yeah,
Yeah, which one are you going to choose, right?
I know. There's no wrong choices.
Right. And you can try one and then come back and try another
Yeah.
and then another.
Hmm.
All right, my love, does this feel like an okay place to land today?
It does. Thank you so much for your guidance. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.